Hi guys, I've just got out the shower, my hair is drip drying, and today is packing day because I've decided that I want to get out of town for a couple of days. I want to take the bike on a bit of a road trip and go and see some stuff. Mostly I want to go and see Rusumo Falls, which is down in the south. It's a place I never really thought to go to, but about a year ago, my friend Laine, who is a super talented author, I shall leave her details below, but she came to visit and she wanted to go to Rusumo Falls. But it's quite hard to get to in as much as, you know, it's a very long bus journey. It's very doable, but perhaps not very comfortable, and especially, you know, if you don't know the country so well. But ever since she mentioned it, I have kind of been thinking about it a little bit, and I thought, well, I could go down there, see Rusumo Falls, and then maybe cut back across Lake Jehoha, which is on the border with Rwanda and Burundi. So we went there very, very briefly with Harris and Rob one day and had a nice meal by the lake, but they've also got a campsite. So I thought that might be a bit of a chill place to relax on my way back to Kigali. So doing a huge, great big loop like this. Now, I've never been on a proper road trip on a motorbike before. I went to Gisenyi a little while back and that all went really, really well. Same bike that I'm taking this time, but you know, you got to fly sometimes, so let's do it. My big thing today is figuring out what I need to take with me. You know, if you've seen my videos before, I am a notorious overpacker. You know, I have always been used to having a car, and when you've got a car, you just put everything in the car and hope for the best. Whereas when you're on a bike, you've really got to think about what you're taking with you. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, tidying up the house a bit and figuring out what I'm packing. So yeah, let's get started. Okay guys, so this is what I'm going to get everything into. A few years ago, I used to let out rooms, and this guy was using my house as a base whilst he took tours into DRC. And then he left, but he left a whole load of stuff in my storage room. And then never came back for it. So after about 6 years, I kind of gave most of it away. I did check with him and he was just like, no response. So I threw out most of it, I gave it away, but I kept these because he left 2 waterproof cases, and my bike has got no box on it, so you know, I haven't got any other waterproof bags. But this is really, really cool because it's completely waterproof, and it's got lots of side pockets, so I can put lots of stuff in here. So here I've got some shampoo, conditioner, toothbrush, toothpaste, pants, and I'm going to pack a towel because I might be staying at some hotels, but you can just never guarantee. In a campsite they probably don't have towels. And now I need to put some clothes in here and leave enough room for the equipment that I want to take with me for videos. It's all waterproof, so I can hopefully put my laptop in one of these and there's no chance it's going to get wet. So yeah, equipment is definitely a big concern for me at the moment because last year I went traveling down through Europe and Morocco, and I was just filming everything on my phone, and I'm going to be using my phone again this time, but also I'm taking an action camera, and the problem that I have is because I'm going for about 4 days, I'm not going to be taking my editing laptop with me because that is a very, very difficult item to replace if it gets stolen or damaged along the way. I don't know how this trip's gonna go. I'm not gonna risk that, and I don't want to be editing whilst I'm traveling because I want to be enjoying the, you know, the journey. But that means that everything I film is going to be stored up on SD cards on the action camera and on my phones, and after a couple of days they're just going to run out of space. So I need to have a way to transfer all of the images and the footage from the SD cards onto an external hard drive that I'm taking with about 3 terabyte of space. And the only way I can find to do that is to take a really old laptop with me, just to stick the external hard drive in one USB port and a little card reader in the other and transfer between them. So I've got 2 really old laptops. One's like 10 years old, it's really heavy and it needs an external keyboard because the keyboard on it has stopped working. It's a lot faster, but it's just too clunky to take with me. And then I've got a Lenovo, an old Lenovo one, which is slow, super slow, and I can't figure out why, because CPU, GPU are not maxing out. and it's saying that the hard drive space is, but when you look at what's on the hard drives, there's nothing in there that should be maxing that out. So I'm just removing everything from it that I don't need, and hopefully all it has to do is act as a transfer point between the hard drive and the SD cards. But these are things that I'm having to think about before I set out, because otherwise, you know, I can film like a drive from here to maybe Kayonza, and then I can't film anything else. So I need to think about that. It's raining, it's raining, it's raining. Going for a drive in the wet season probably wasn't the smartest idea, but you know. I've also got this, which I brought from the UK, which is a little Bluetooth stereo for helmets. And it should be able to play music and things. I don't know if I'm going to use this, but I thought I would open it and have a look, because there's going to be a couple of 3-4 hour drives involved in this road trip. So it might be nice when I'm not on a main road, when I'm somewhere nice and quiet, just to have a little bit of music to listen to. So I'm just opening it up, because I feel like I'm probably going to have to charge this or find some batteries, so I don't know. So yeah, it should just clip onto the helmet. Let me go away and read about this. I don't quite know what I'm doing with it. Okay, there's lots of things in this box, so that I think is what clips it to the side of the helmet. But I've also got some Velcro and a charging cable and some headphones and wires, lots and lots of wires. This looks complicated, so I'm going to go and figure out what I'm supposed to do with everything. Okay, so I've plugged it into charge, and I assume that that red light goes green when it's fully charged, so I shall come back later. Okay, so very, very important job to do before I go is to make sure that everything is charged, all of my devices. So I need to make sure that all the batteries are charged, and I need to make sure that all the SD cards are cleared so there's nothing on them and they're, you know, fully able to start recording. So I've actually got two Insta cameras. I've got the ×2 and the ×3, and the really irritating thing is that they made the batteries just slightly smaller in the ×3. So now every time I want to charge the batteries, I have to try to figure out which charger they fit in. So if they're small, they go in the 3 charger, and if they're larger, like that one, which is just, it's literally just a couple of millimeters too big, but that one needs to be charged in the ×2 charger. So I really love the Insta cameras, but I think that was a really crap move, because it really didn't save a huge amount of space at all. It just makes things really annoying, and you have to buy a whole load more batteries. So that was a bit of a fail there on the Insta. Okay, so the next really important decision to make is which helmet I'm going to wear. Now, you would think that this is an easy decision, but not so much. So this is a Steelbird that I wear around town. This is on loan from a friend. It's a real simple helmet, very easy. You just pop it on, you do it up underneath the chin like that, and it's got a visor to protect your eyes. The nice thing is that the visor is very wide, so you've got really good peripheral vision, which you need here because people cut you up all the time. Buses cut you up, cars cut you up, other motor drivers cut you up constantly. So it's really important to have a wide field of vision. And you can see it's also got these air vents on the top to let the air come through, which again is really important because we're kind of on the equator and it gets hot here. So it's not perfectly fitted, but it's fine. And this is what I usually wear when I'm driving around town. Motor hair. However, I do also have this all singing, all dancing shark. And the interesting part is this looks like it's 10 times bigger, but it's actually far better fitted to my head. I don't know if you can hear me, but this is a perfectly fitted full face helmet. And you can lift up the visor like this. Again, it's got a full field of vision. And if I can remember how it works, you can also turn into a standard face. So you know if it fits correctly because it gives you a little bit of this, but not a full squishy face. And it's also got drop down shades, so I look a little bit like, I don't know, some kind of American cop show, which is really, really nice. And also it's got adjustable air vents. As you can see, the air vents on here, I've got air vents just here, and they've got sliders on them which you can open and close depending on whether or not you're too hot or too cold. Here in Africa, you are always going to have those open. So this is, forgive my French, but this is a no shit helmet, you know? This is what you would wear in the UK. It's quite cool. It's called the Shark, I think, because it has a fin at the back when that's open, and then you close it for your full face helmet. So I don't know, I'm in two minds, just because the other one is very, very nicely ventilated and very comfortable, but if you're in a proper crash, this is going to save your life. I haven't been on a proper ride wearing this one yet. It is very, very heavily padded, and therefore you do get quite sweaty, but it also has the shades, which are quite nice, because I'm not somebody who likes wearing shades. I like to be able to see everything in very clear colour all of the time. But every now and again, when you're driving into the sun, you really do need that, and I'd rather have a flip down shade than be constantly trying to take shades on and off manually. So I don't know, I'm thinking I might wear this, but the problem is if I get halfway around my trip and it's just too bulky, it's too hot, it's too uncomfortable, I can't really change it. So I'm going to give it some more thought, but I think, I haven't tried it yet, but I think if I'm going to use this for the music and everything, I think I'm going to need this helmet. I'm not sure. Again, I need to figure it out. Okay, so I'm having to take a YouTube tutorial to figure out how to put this intercom in place in my helmet, and it's a learning curve. It's teaching me all kind of things, like you can take the padding out of the cheek in order to get this in. I'm enjoying this. I'm learning something. This is almost as much fun as pianos. In this helmet, it's really easy to see where the earphones should go. It's got like a little hole in there that shows you. So this is just a little bit of sticky backed Velcro that you need to stick on that circular bit in there. And then I think you just Velcro the speakers onto it, which is pretty straightforward. What is not straightforward is trying to get the backing off the sticky back Velcro. That's actually really annoying. There we go, got it. So there's been a lot of faffing around to get it all neatly underneath the lining and tucked away. But there's one speaker on there, and there's a second speaker here. There's also a jack that hangs out, which is for a microphone. And I don't quite know what to do with that, because I'm not going to be answering any calls whilst I'm driving, because just nobody ever calls me anyway, because we all text and message each other. But also, I guess I could use it for recording whilst I'm driving. But I think for now, I'm just going to tuck it up inside the helmet and focus on getting music to play. Okay, so now I'm having seriously good fun trying to get this to slot onto here. In all the tutorials, they just clip it straight in and it attaches. But I'm approaching it more like a Kinder Surprise egg right now, and I will be surprised if I figure it out. Okay, well, I just jiggled it around and it clicked into place, so that's cool. Now, I think that you can attach it either with the clip, or there's also a Velcro piece that's shaped sort of the right size for that. So I think you can stick it on, or you can clip it on. I think maybe a clip might be more stable if we're going to be off-roading and shaking around, because if it falls off, I guess I would know if it fell off if I was listening to music, but if I wasn't, I probably wouldn't know I'd lost it. I think I'm going to have to stick it, because my helmet has got this neck guard, I guess for rain and weather. And so I don't think that I can actually clip it to the side of the helmet, so I'm just going to have to stick it. And also, pro tip I was just thinking about, but make sure that you stick it on the left hand side so that you can control it when you take your hand off the clutch. Don't put it on the right hand side, otherwise you'll have to take your hand off the throttle, which won't be very good. Just tested to make sure that wherever I put it doesn't get clipped when the front part of the helmet opens and closes. It's a bit nerve-wracking because if I stick it in the wrong place, I don't know how easy it is to move it again. So, okay, I've stuck it on, it's attached. It actually feels quite firmly attached, and this is very, very light, so maybe it's unlikely to fall off. It does actually seem to fit better than I was expecting. So it does look kind of cool stuck to the side, like very futuristic. I'm just popping the cheek pads back in, and I'm feeling a little bit skeptical about whether or not I'm going to hear those speakers easily through the cheek pads. But I've just noticed that they've actually just put a little bit of thin foam here instead of thick fabric, so maybe it will go through. Okay, so the helmet's back together again. Let's see if I can connect it. That's cool. Pretty. It says that it's paired, so I'm just going to try playing something and see if I hear it. Violet femmes glister in the sun. Oh my god. Oh, this is cool. So I just need to figure out the controls. So if I hit the big button on the side, it automatically pauses it. So I hit the big button and it goes quiet, which is really, really important. And then when I hit it again, it's playing again. If I hit the one at the back, it restarts the track. And if I hit the one at the front, it goes to the next track. That's cool. I can skip tracks I don't like. That's very cool. The bass and the quality of it is actually really good. I'm just going to turn it right up and see how it seems. I can't turn it all the way up because it is loud. But I will say this is currently a lot more comfortable just because it's a little bit looser, whereas the cheek pads on that are really like that. It's basically just because, whoa, thunder. I don't know if you could hear that. There was a very loud roll of thunder. But the cheek pads on the other one are very, very squishy because it's a brand new helmet. I've literally never worn it. Even, you know, in the UK, I was borrowing a helmet, so I haven't worn that one in, but it is safer. It is safer than this, but this one's a lot more comfortable. And I also really like the visor on this one comes down a bit further, whereas the visor on that one stops about here. And especially when you're off-roading, I'm a bit worried about stones because they can like hit the road and they can bounce up. And so the further down your visor comes, the better protected you are from that. But I think it's going to be all right. I mean, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not doing motocross or anything. I'm just going for a road trip. So I think I'm going to be okay. And I think I should probably try and wear that helmet in a little bit. And I like the sound system, I like the music on it, so yeah. So the way that this helmet is designed, you can't really very easily attach the sound system to it because I'm not entirely sure what that black piece here is. But it's kind of where you would need to put it. And this piece here, although it looks big on camera, it isn't really wide enough to fit that device on it, so it will be very, very difficult. Okay guys, it's evening now and I feel like I'm pretty much there. I've packed my bag, all except for my wash kit, which I'll do tomorrow morning. One of my last things that I'm doing this evening is sorting out my cat food portions because I'm only going for 4 nights, but the cats aren't used to being home without somebody here. Usually when I go away, my friend Liam comes and he house sits and he looks after the cats, but this time around my neighbour next door is going to feed them for a couple of nights. Liam's going to pop round one night to feed them and give Sen her asthma medication, and then my housekeeper's coming in the middle because she's going to tidy the house up whilst I'm away, and she's also going to feed them. So it's just about portioning out the amount for them and letting everybody know what they need to do when they're here, and also checking on the water bowls. So it's like, it's only 4 nights away, but it is a bit of a military operation. Anybody who has cats knows what it's like. Thankfully they are still a lot easier than dogs, but yeah, you do have to think it through. But yeah, I'm feeling confident. I think I've got my packing down to a sensible amount. I'm now charging all of my electrical devices and making sure that I'm taking the right chargers with me. Yeah, let's see how this goes. I mean, look, the worst thing that can possibly happen is everything goes horribly, horribly wrong, and I'm never going to be more than about a 4-hour drive from Kigali, you know. So if absolutely everything goes horribly, horribly wrong, I can just get on the bike and drive home. So it's not going to be bad. I'm hoping it's going to be good, but it can't be really bad. So